For the longest time, the Mario series was stuck feeling bland and sterile, with very few releases capturing the charm and whimsy that the games are well known for. But now, this is far from the case. So it begs the question, is the Mario series better than ever right now? I think the obvious answer is yes. But do you know why? We had a whole video earlier this year highlighting how we're currently in Nintendo's golden age. But the same can be said for the company's strongest IP. Mario is entering his own golden age as well. The Plumber has had enough success in the last year alone for this to ring true. Of course, there was the Super Mario Bros. Movie back in 2023. This film was incredibly successful. And it wasn't just a generic Mario movie either. We had Mario's origins in Brooklyn, old forgotten foes, a princess who can fend for herself, a whole bunch of items and power-ups from across the series' long history, tons of characters from Donkey Kong, and a whole Mario Kart section. This movie was filled with charm and love for the series, and it's no wonder that it was the highest-grossing animated film of the year. Plus, it's already confirmed to have some sort of sequel on the way. Not long after the Super Mario Bros. Movie, we had a brand new 2D Mario game announced, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Not counting the Mario Maker games or ports like New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, this was the first completely brand new 2D Mario game for the first time in over 10 years. And it was a big step for 2D Mario. It finally moved on from the New Super Mario Bros. Series, sporting a fresh and unique art style, a large playable cast of characters, several new power-ups, and plenty of new mechanics. It iterated on the 2D Mario games in the same way as the classics, like going from Super Mario Bros. 3 to Super Mario World, though it also felt like an iteration on ideas used in the New Super Mario Bros. Series, since it even had characters like Nabbit present. But for the most part, the game was completely fresh and interesting, in a whole new world with a colorful variety of new kinds of enemies. Around the same time as the triumphant return to 2D adventures, Mario also made a grand return to RPGs with a full-blown remake of Super Mario RPG, the beloved SNES classic. This game was long considered to be forgotten by Nintendo, aside from the occasional virtual console releases back on the Wii and Wii U. Sure, Geno had a Mii costume in Smash, but this was literally the only reference ever made to this game for quite some time. Geno even had his cameo cut out from the Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga remake back in 2017. So to see this game reappear for the Switch, not just being an NSO release, but a full remake, was huge. And the remake even outsold the original SNES game. But if we're talking about sales, then we can't really ignore what's pretty much the most successful Nintendo game of all time, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. While this was originally just a port of the Wii U title early in the Switch's lifespan, after 5 years, we finally got an expansive amount of DLC for the game thanks to the Booster Course Pass. And this game continues to sell like crazy. It may have released back in 2017, but it has persisted at the top of the charts throughout the entire lifespan of the Switch. And as we've entered this golden age, it sits in a spot of well-earned success, even being the main representation of Mario Kart in the Mario movie. But Mario hasn't been the only star of the series lately. Back in the Mario movie, Princess Peach took on an active role throughout the film, being a capable hero herself in the adventure, and this role continued into its own game, with Princess Peach Showtime, her first starring adventure in almost 20 years. And unlike her original adventure, this one has nothing to do with Mario or Bowser. As the Mario series has entered its golden age, Princess Peach has been given a new kit of abilities and her own solo adventure that may just be as important to her identity as the Luigi's Mansion games are to Luigi. Shifting into more of an RPG section here, because the Mario RPGs are thriving once again. And that's something that even back at the start of 2023, many would have deemed impossible. Beyond the previously mentioned Super Mario RPG remake, we also had the long-awaited return to form of the Paper Mario series, with the surprise remake of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Frankly, this was another dream come true kind of remake that even I really never thought would happen. For the longest time, fans felt that the Paper Mario series would never go back to its RPG roots, let alone remake the fan favorite. And unlike the 3DS remakes of the Mario and Luigi games, this TTYD remake was incredibly faithful to the original release, keeping all of the unique character designs and somehow enhancing the charm even further, because this game oozes charm, somehow even more than the original, thanks to all the new animations given to every character in the game. And this feels very telling to how Nintendo feels about the Mario IP now, compared to before, but we'll come back to that in a bit. Now, we look ahead to confirmed games coming later this year, and it all starts with the game to open the latest Nintendo Direct, Mario & Luigi Brothership, the first fully 3D Mario & Luigi game, and the first one on a home console. After Alpha Dream declared bankruptcy back in 2019, many believed this series would be dead, or that it would be a long time before we'd see another entry in the series. And yet, here we are, a third Mario RPG releasing within the span of a year. But unlike Super Mario RPG and Paper Mario TTYD, this is a brand new game. The first new Mario & Luigi game in almost 10 years, not counting the pair of remakes on the 3DS. And the best part? From this first trailer, it looks great, really capturing the essence of what makes the Mario & Luigi series so good, focusing on the brothers together. And speaking of capturing the essence of classics, that brings us to the last upcoming game that we know about, Super Mario Party Jamboree. It's no surprise that we're getting another Mario Party game on the Switch. After all, the series has been performing really well on the platform. But Jamboree is special. From what we can see, it's the first brand new Mario Party in a very long time to be focusing on the classic style of gameplay and getting it right. There's a large variety of board maps with different mechanics, stars costing 20 coins, and it even has a ton of playable characters. If we count Mario Party Superstars, the celebration of the classics from 2021, as the original proper return to form of the series, after games like Super Mario Party took steps back towards it, then Jamboree is the first new Mario Party to finally build off of and iterate on these classic ideas in over 15 years. Of course, we'll have to see exactly how both of these titles really turn out upon release, but the first impressions of both of their trailers are really strong. Stronger than most of the impressions on the majority of Mario games from the 2010s. Because the Mario series felt different in the 2010s, more sterile and sanitized. During this time, much of the Mario series and its spin-offs were primarily using two sources for its content, the new Super Mario Bros. Series and Super Mario 3D World. So much so that several spin-offs were even losing key traits of their defining identities. Fans often call these decisions the Mario Mandates, and they're most visible in the Paper Mario and Mario & Luigi series. For pretty much a whole decade, from Sticker Star to Origami King, the Paper Mario series rarely featured any unique characters, sticking almost exclusively with different colored toads. And at first, even the locations were far more generic, like the worlds found in a 2D Mario game. The same went for Mario & Luigi. While Dream Team was spared of this, these changes were most notable in the last original game, Paper Jam, a game that was supposed to be a fusion of the two series, instead had very few of the defining elements in world building seen in previous Mario & Luigi games, opting instead to use generic landscapes from the 2D series, populated by various toads and generic enemies from the main Mario games. But this sterile effect could be seen in several other spin-offs as well. Mario Party losing its unique character hosts and instead being hosted by different colored toads, half-baked Mario sports games. A lot of the charm and whimsy of the Mario series as a whole felt missing from a lot of the Mario games throughout the 2010s, and fans really weren't happy about it. Even despite focusing heavily on games like New Super Mario Bros. For the source material of spin-offs, there wasn't even much in the way of a new 2D Mario game during this time either. New Super Mario Bros. U released in 2012, and the Deluxe version in 2019. While we had the Mario Maker games in 2015 and 2019, those were more about level editors and capturing the creation of 2D Mario levels, rather than releasing what most fans would consider a new 2D Mario game. It made fans wonder during this time if the 2D Mario series could ever really evolve past this point. But despite all of this, it wasn't all downhill during this more sterile era. There were a few standout titles that caught everyone's attention as potential signs of improvement. Super Mario Odyssey, which came out the first year of the Switch, definitely had a charming sense of adventure that was absent from a lot of recent games at that point. Plus, it even had a bunch of new and unique characters. even if Pauline was really the only one to stick around. And Luigi's Mansion 3 was incredibly charming and had that Mario whimsy that many were missing. Another big one was Mario Strikers Battle League. While the game itself has mixed reception, it was undeniably a big deal. The last Mario Strikers game was back in 2007, so getting this new entry was a sign that Nintendo was willing to revisit dormant Mario spin-off series. In fact, the existence of Battle League may have been one of the first steps we really saw towards where we are now, with so many Mario spin-off series back and thriving. If not Battle League, then perhaps Mario Party Superstars, because it wasn't just a wonderful celebration of the classic Mario Party that we all know and love, it was also the first Mario Party released with proper online play. But as big of a step as it was still a celebration of the classics rather than a brand new game. Of course, now we have Super Mario Party Jamboree on the way to fix that, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder proved that the 2D Mario series can evolve from the state that it was in during the 2010s. It's really started to feel like the Mario series has been changing for the better over the last few years. But perhaps the real first step in all of this was when Super Nintendo World opened, first in Universal Studios Japan. Despite its name, it's basically, more specifically, Super Mario World. The entire point of a Mario theme park is to capture the joy, charm, and whimsy of the world by immersing everyone in it, physically. And as the park has begun opening up in more places, it couldn't be more clear that it's been a success. But as we've entered this new age of Mario, one particular change may be an even bigger sign of its existence, even if it's purely coincidence. Charles Martinet is no longer the exclusive voice of Mario. To fans in the movie, that's Chris Pratt. And in new games from Super Mario Bros. Wonder onwards, it's Kevin Afghani. This change isn't necessarily an improvement to mark a golden age, but it's a clear refresh that changes things up. And as we look forward to what's next with the Mario series, this new era becomes even clearer. In terms of games, we've got Super Mario Party Jamboree and Mario & Luigi Brothership coming later this year, and that's just this year. Next year, Super Nintendo World opens up in Orlando, Florida, bringing the Mario experience to even more people. And after that, the sequel to the Super Mario Bros. Movie. And these are just the things that we know about. If we get even more games following in the footsteps of the releases we've had over the past couple of years, then this golden age of Mario will continue in its strength. And I can't wait to see where the plumber goes next. After a rough time through the 2010s, the Mario series is so back. And with that, that'll do it for this little video on Mario's golden age. But what do you guys think? Do you agree that we've entered a golden age for the Mario series? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to GameXplain for plenty more on Mario, and other things gaming as well, of course. Until next time, farewell.